The Dornish have received reinforcements. 2 new houses have been added to their roster, as well as a revamp of the House Martell army, and they are ready for a battle. As well as that, we also have a new house being added to the Iron Islands. We have House Harlaw, which we're going to take a look at today, and then we're going to dive into a battle. So a bunch of new houses being added to the mod, and yeah, it looks really cool. It kind of fills out a few of them factions that necessarily didn't have as many units as the other ones, so it's great to see the update coming in. And again, these units look absolutely amazing. So we're going to run through all these new units, and we're going to have a big old battle against House Harlaw and hope for the best. This is going to be the second last update to the mod if you're interested in that. The modder is going to be moving on after the next patch to work on the Kingdom Come Deliverance mod that he's working on, which is going to be set in the Riverlands. It's going to be a Game of Thrones RPG. It's going to be absolutely crazy. I've heard that the Kingdom Come Deliverance mod tools, which have just been released, are actually really good and will allow him to do quite a few things. So it's going to be pretty goddamn crazy what he's able to do, because as you can obviously tell, his texture work and his 3D modeling is absolutely insane. And if he can get good scripts and you know, obviously voice actors in to do the voices for the characters, it's going to be crazy. You know, having the War of the Five Kings play out with, you know, all these different houses in the Riverlands coming together and fighting, hopefully some castle sieges, you know, meeting Robb Stark and Tywin Lannister, and you know, choosing who you're fighting for. I think at the moment he's got a poll up on his Twitter to what to focus on, because the map only allows you to look at so much. So I highly recommend you go check out his Twitter. It's just 7 Kingdoms. And right there you can, you know, decide upon, I think the vote is whether he focuses on Harrenhal and the surrounding areas or Riverrun and the surrounding areas. And I believe Riverrun is currently winning, but we'll have to see what comes out on top. But anyway, back to this update. So this update came out a couple of weeks ago, and I've been a little slow on covering it, but here we go, we're diving in. And I'm planning on doing a bunch more Game of Thrones stuff in the future, because there is also a map modder who has been making a ton of really cool maps for Game of Thrones. Recreating all the old battles. I believe even the Battle of the Trident is a thing now as well, which we can do once the next update for the 7 Kingdoms, this mod, comes out, which is going to add in young Robert Baratheon, obviously Baratheon style troops, I assume a young Eddard Stark, Rhaegar Targaryen, and obviously pre Game of Thrones TV show Targaryen units as well, which will be really cool for sure. So yeah, if we take a look at these units, the first house that has been added to Dawn is House Ulla. I don't actually know exactly where House Ulla is in Dawn. I assume it's in the middle-ish, kind of like middle left, but I'm not 100% sure. But I really love the style of their armor. It looks absolutely amazing. The detail as well on this undercoat as well is actually pretty insane. The amount of, you know, quality he's managed to get in on this cloth armor underneath their, you know, their defensive positions and yeah, their defensive armor. I also really dig the spear work as well. You know, it just kind of really fits the Dornish feel. So we've got a unit of their spearmen right here, obviously, is what we're looking at. Then we have the old axeman as well, again just kind of given an axe instead of a spear. We also, I believe, have some swordsmen back here. So again, similar to shield, they're kind of just, you know, using that round shield, and they're just giving kind of like a scimitar instead of an axe or a spear. And then finally we have the cavalry. So we have the mounted, just foot cavalry. And then finally we have the Lancer Cavalry right here. So these guys are again just wielding a spear. So it's going to be the first house that has been added into the mod. Then we have House Yronwood. House Yronwood is one of my... I really like House Yronwood. I think they're really cool. They're kind of situated in the northern mountains of Dawn. So they're kind of like more like Stormlanders. But, you know, they're obviously in Dawn and they are Dornish. So they're kind of like a mix between the Stormlands and Dawn. Because so you kind of have more of that western feel to them. But still they're really cool, and I'm a big fan of House Yronwood. So again, you can take a look at some of their units. So we'll take a look at their axemen first. These axemen, they look like they are wielding axes. Yeah, so again, they've kind of got like an underneath chainmail underneath their leather armor on top, supported by just, again, a beautiful undercoat. The patterns in on that is really awesome. I mean, you can kind of see that they are, you know, kind of a lot more western, or I guess northern in Game of Thrones, which again is a nice little kind of look to them. Then obviously we have their spearmen, again, just kind of given a spear rather than an axe. And then obviously there's swordsman right here as well. Very, very similar. You can definitely tell like the Dornish style is more of this round shield than anything else. Even though House Martell, I believe, uses kite shields, but these guys are kind of equipped with that. And these obviously are wielding the scimitar type of weapon as well, more of a curved blade than a straight one. Then if we take a look at their knights, I think I only bought the Lancer variant with these guys, so we've got some Lancer horses. Again, taking a look at them, looking really, really good. Indeed. So yeah, looking very nice. That's gonna be pretty awesome. And then finally we have that's everything from them. So then we just take a quick look at House Martell. I think not much has changed, maybe a few additions like the undercoats, but I mean obviously we can take a look at them again because they do look spectacular. I really kind of like this padding underneath the overcoat as well. You can kind of even see the metal pivots as well. Pivots, is that what they're called? Studs, which obviously is used to kind of protect the armor a bit. Again, it just looks like it's insane. And that's kind of one of the crazy things about his Kingdom Come Deliverance mod, is obviously a lot of these assets are already built in this game and you can just transfer them over, obviously having to code them correctly. I also really, really love, I don't think this unit shows it as well, but if we go over to maybe the Spearman, I love the shoulder pads for House Dawn. Like, just take a look at them. It's quite hard to see them, but I really love the way the shoulder pads are kind of done. They're like a separate bit of armor that kind of just sits on the shoulder itself, and I think it looks really, really cool. So obviously these are the Dornish Spearmen. Really nice spears right there. You can actually see like the detail going into them as well, and the serpent just going up the spear is just absolutely insane. It's so cool. Indeed, it's just really, really cool. And then finally, I think we just have the swordsman to take a look at. You know, again, just basic swordsman. And then finally, we have the sword variant of cavalry. You know, it just looks really cool. Knights, you know, lightly armored, obviously, because they're kind of obviously in the heavy heat of the desert and stuff. So, you know, more of a kind of like a skirmisher guerrilla fighting cavalry. And then this one over here as well. So that is going to be the Dornish houses that have been added into the mod, looking very cool. And then we can quickly take a look at House Harlaw, and we can take a look at them whilst we go in slow-mo, just so we don't, you know, kind of, you know, drag the video out any more than I already have. So taking a look at House Harlaw, these are obviously one of the Iron Island factions or houses. I believe House Harlaw, yeah, are like left of Pike, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe they're north of Pike, I don't know. I'm sure you guys can look it up if you're interested. The House Harlaw are obviously a major house in the Iron Islands. And they're going to be obviously a raiding faction, just like all the Iron Islands. I believe there have been some naval units added as well for the Iron Islands and House Harlaw, which is cool. So maybe we can do like a naval invasion or something along them lines, which would be pretty exciting, I think. But yeah, as you can see, obviously light armor, mainly going to be leather and cloth and padding. Obviously not going to be anything too heavy. So we've got some archers on the front line. Then over on this left-hand side, I believe I gave them some crossbows as well, which are going to be, you know, similarly equipped. Obviously, the secondary is going to be that axe. Then over on this left-hand side, more of them guys. Then we have kind of more of the meat of the faction itself. You can see them just running past right now with their shields. They've kind of got more of this, you know, this peeking shield where they can thrust spears through, which is pretty cool. Obviously, everyone's wearing a helmet, but, you know, very light armor. They're obviously looking to hit and run. Then we've got their swordsman variant back here as well, which are going to be running through. So we've got some swordsmen here as they charge forward. We've also got some cavalry over on this right-hand side. Again, the cavalry's not going to be anything too crazy whatsoever. Again, not really using too much horse. Oh yeah, I forgot to look at the generals as well, because Oberyn Martell's also been revamped. So this is Roderick Harlaw. I have no idea who he is. But there he is. That's one of the characters I don't actually know. We also have a really cool unit. They keep on going invisible, which is kind of annoying. They have a really cool axe like Huskell unit, which I can't see at the moment, as we have to wait for them to get a little bit closer, I think. But we will also just move up a little bit as well, maybe shift over our formation. And whilst that's happening, we can take a look at Oberyn and also the Yronwood as well. So if we just pause it, so we can take a good old look at Oberyn. So Oberyn's armor has been completely redone, and he's got like new positions and stuff, looking very cool. Indeed, it would be very awesome if we could get like a spear in for him, but I think if you can't give individual people individual weapons. So if you gave him a sword, you'd have to give, a spear, you'd have to give the entire unit, and it kind of loses its unique feel. But even well, this bodyguard unit does have a very nice weapon. And then we do all have Anders Yronwood as well, which is right here. And you can see him, again, looking very nice in his armor. So let's just go and click play and get this battle started. Sorry, a bit of a long intro, but I feel like, the whole point of the video is to take a look at this. Oh, and it seems like the House Harlaw are going to be charging their cavalry forward. And I'm not going to stop this. I'm going to let them go directly into my battle line as they just find the perfect gap, smashing into my Ola swords right there and into Andrus Yronwood as well, which is not good. Can we see some of their axes now? I really want to see the great axes. Is this them? Oh yeah, this, no? Yes, no, that's a small unit of axes. Where are the heavy axes? I gave them like a ton of, oh, here they are. Yeah, there you go. So they're like a proper just like Huskell unit which can just get stuck in. They're still sticking with the more lightly armored setup. Let's definitely form a shield wall as quickly as possible with them guys. So we'll get into that shield wall. Obviously lightly armored, shields, but still nonetheless very, very cool. Over on this side as well, we'll form into a shield wall wherever we can. Just get up into that position, forming that shield wall and get ready to repel them. There's some archer fire coming in, and you just saw actually some of their units as well getting hit by their own missile fire. As the cavalry is just getting stuck in. I should probably do something about this horse, but I'm kind of just sitting back, letting the battle unfold. Because we can obviously, demolish this as a victory, but it's always cool just to see how the battle actually does unfold without doing much. I really wish there was a laboratory mode for Attila, how crazy that would be. So let's go and charge. I've got a unit here. Let's go and countercharge with House Ulla. I think House Ulla is definitely my favorite house in the mod, within the mod update for sure. They're just amazing, the quality of this armor, the spears that they have. And that's also one of the crazy things about the modding. Obviously, it's just like one guy making all the assets and stuff for this. It's just like, all the unique weapons and stuff like that are just really cool. Okay, Oberyn, get yourself stuck in. Oh my god, look at their army here as well. This right flank is up under pressure. House Yronwood is going to have to hold against the Harlaw axes. And you can already see they're not doing a great job of it. So let's go and dispatch some of our Dornish cavalry out to that right flank. And we'll go and try and just, win that cavalry fight as more heavy axes get stuck in. Okay, let's bring these guys back, and then we'll throw them in over here. And hopefully House Dorn can win the cavalry fight over on this position. Let's move them around. We'll rotate them in. And then we'll look to get in. Because I can't imagine, House Harlaw has that great of a cavalry force. So we'll try and scare off their force there. We'll throw this unit in to hit these guys from the back. And then we'll have another cavalry engagement right here. So, we should win this cavalry engagement, I would assume. Yeah, we definitely came out on top of that little position right there. And now we have some dudes here as well. So let's form them up like so. And then we'll throw them in. The rest of the battle line is looking fine. Oh, there's some cavalry here as well I'd love to take care of. And again, you can see the Dornish swords as well. And some Dornish knights. I think this is Oberyn's unit right here. Which is coming in the side. And we're actually sending some of their units back as well, which is nice. The front lines are pretty stuck in. We got the Axemen from House Yronwood fighting hard against the Spearmen from House Harlaw. And these swords are now nice. So we managed to break most of the cavalry. Let's go and support our other unit of horse there. House Ulla are formed up, so let's throw them in now as well. So we'll let them kind of just break through the ranks. Yeah, we'll let them break through the ranks of our Yronwood Spearmen. Kind of like in the Battle of the Five Armies where the dwarfs held their shield wall and the elves came jumping over. That's what we're trying to recreate right here. And our cavalry as well. Nice. Because of our horse coming in as well, these guys have managed to hold. So let's form them up a little bit better and throw them in for a second round. I mean, oh my god. Just look at that. That just looks so awesome. Well, that's definitely going to have to be the screenshot like so. Oh yeah, baby. That's awesome. It really is cool. Right there. That's what we want to see. Maybe get his helmet. Oh my god, look at this guy in the background as well. He does not know what's about to hit him. As that dude just smashes down and then comes back up. House Yronwood are not done quite yet. If we can win that cavalry engagement as well, we can wrap up the rest of the fight. It's obviously just these axes which are pretty goddamn scary. And some of our light axes have managed to, break off a little bit. There's some Yronwood in there as well. Probably going to have to commit more infantry though to this fight. And yeah, it seems like we've managed to break most of the Harlaw cavalry here, which is great. I did give myself a lot of cavalry, not on purpose. It was mainly just kind of a side effect of taking a look at all the units. So I'm not going to be using it. I might just dismount half of this horse anyway. Yeah, let's dismount half of this horse and get him stuck in. Because we're all under heavy missile fire anyway, but let's just reinforce this position. I'm trying to push over some more of my army here. It seems like, though, we are going to get caught out, so let's just push down a little bit. Let these guys engage them, and we'll come in the side right here and try and outflank them as best as we can. They're not going to let me do it, though. They are going to countercharge. Hopefully, we can just about form up with some of our Dornish spears. Seems like they are going to be coming in, though, as heavy as they can. Luckily, though, this unit managed to form up, which is good. And we do have reinforcements as well. So let's just bring these guys out a little bit. We'll rotate them, and then we'll throw them into this gap. I think that's a good idea. And then you guys can come around as well. I mean, the cavalry could easily just come down. I don't want to use my cavalry. I have way too much horse, for sure. We're just going to stick with the infantry fighting. And again, we can see the Dornish axes going hard and actually winning the day against these guys. The other spearmen moving forward as well. We're ready for that battle. You can see the battle unfolding in the distance as well. Looking very good. Yeah, for sure. So now that we've reinforced here, we can obviously start to do some pretty crazy stuff. You guys get in a nice little tight formation here and just smash through this gap. You guys can be soon to follow as well. Yeah, just get like behind them. That would be perfect. We'll obviously look to envelop these guys. Oh no, some of our men are breaking now, so let's reinforce here wherever we can. These guys can come around though for sure. And maybe I will go and silence their missiles. Nah, it's fine, unless we break through. So you guys come through now, and then you guys follow as well. And I mean, I guess these guys can come through this gap as well when the time comes. So even under heavy missile fire, they're trying to break through here. And it'll be very, very good if we can get these guys through this position, because then we can completely envelop the rest of the enemy army. So that's one unit through, and the other unit is coming through. Now we've got more reinforcements forming up. So first things first, let's try and get around the flank here and hit them. And then you guys obviously do exactly the same thing as what you've been doing. This way, please. Don't get stuck in. Why are you guys getting stuck in? No, run this way. There we go. That's what we want to see. So I think first things first, we'll send them there, and you guys can come into charge into the side of these axemen. Getting a good silence charge on these guys will be huge, I think. Even though they just put up so much of a heavy fight. They really, really do. Let's just... We have all this infantry as well. I guess we can just start, moving around it and screw it. Oberyn can come around with these guys. We'll dismount all of these horses, though, and just get them to, form up like so. We've got more infantry coming around, so I want these guys to, come through this gap, probably. Some more infantry we can throw back. And we also have some cavalry here. Let's just see what the cavalry charge is capable of. A nice little rear charge here by the Dornish. The AI does turn around and form up into a shield wall, so that's actually a really nice move there. And you can see it definitely softened the blow as our horses came flying in. But in this mod, heavy knights do a very good job. Even though these aren't the heaviest of knights, but they still do a very good job. We are being shot point blank. And our cavalry over here will hopefully have a field day as they chop down these undefended crossbowmen. Yeah, it should be a slaughter. Should be an absolute slaughter. Now these guys can kind of just come around. We can wrap up a large portion of this defense. I'm really, really surprised, though, we haven't managed to break these guys yet, considering we're hitting them from two sides with our Dornish infantry. It's a huge surprise that we haven't broken these guys yet. It really, really is. We'll throw in some of these guys, though. Again, just try and surround them as best as we can. The cavalry can run amok against these missiles. You can see they are killing a load of them. But yeah, the House Harlaw, obviously being from the Iron Islands, is definitely showing its strength when it comes to infantry. The infantry are putting up an insanely good fight. And they've barely lost any casualties here. Obviously, being a player, I can just use the cavalry and kill everything because, that's just kind of the advantage the player has, I guess, because the AI isn't the smartest in the world. But, I mean, House Harlaw and their infantry definitely proving its worth this day. That is for sure. We can already see the domination that they're pouring out just with their axemen. And that's great to see. Stat-wise, I wonder what their stats are like. So we can actually take a look at that. So they have 32 melee attack and 28 melee defense compared to our spearmen. Also, they actually have very similar. They have very similar stats. They just have more melee defense and I think more weapon damage as well. I think so. They have a few more bonuses kind of in the defense, but for the most part, the stats are very similar. Our knights have managed to catch all of their crossbows now as well. These guys are not going to be around. Some of the bowmen are kind of just picking off shots on our cavalry, but they're going to be able just to run these guys down. And half the horses aren't even engaged here, so let's just pull through a little bit. We'll take some casualties doing this, but honestly, not as many as, yeah, honestly, not that many. So we'll just pour in like so. Boom, boom. Perfect. And then we can just kind of wrap up this battle now. No need to prolong it anymore. The cavalry are actually being beaten back by these Harlaw archers. And these guys have 3 chevrons as well at this point. They've got 128 kills, which is not bad at all. And they're putting up a very good fight there. But I mean, once this, and again, we've lost like, all of our cavalry is now breaking. Oh my god, that pull through was insane. Oberyn is still alive. I mean, I guess we will pop a second wind on him to give him some energy. But now Oberyn is basically fighting by himself, which is not good. We have some dismounted cavalry now. Wow. Yeah, things are taking a turn for the worse. I'm not going to lie. And their axes are just dominating this battle. Let's just try and throw in as many men as we can now. Then I guess we desperately are in need of doing this. Because if Oberyn dies, then the battle is definitely not going in our favor. You can even see some of the Harlaw horses are in this fight as well, as my axemen try their best to dismount the rider and bring him down. We do have some axemen here. Again, like, I'm really surprised that this unit has, like, managed to survive this long. I guess we could remount up some of our cavalry as well. Can you remount these guys? Yeah, maybe we just remount some of these horses. Or these guys. I know they're over there. These swordsmen can get stuck in there. And there you go. Yeah, more of our men are breaking. Oh, that's not good. And we're trying to bring more. Like, Oberyn is dead. I could run him away, but you saw how quickly our units did go down there. So let's just get everyone stuck in. And there we have it. Our front line is breaking dramatically on that. Yeah, on this side. House Ulla and House Yronwood have completely lost this flank. And the axes of House Iron, the Iron Islands, fighting viciously against our battle line. You can see the swords going in. The Dornish are not defeated quite yet. And I think a lot of their crossbows are out of ammunition soon, so that's going to be at least something we can use. So yeah, let's definitely bring over everything we have on this side. Oh, actually, that's a lie. Yeah, Oberyn has been beaten back. Oh, we also have this guy as well, but he's dismounted. Yeah, our Yronwood general has dismounted, but he does also have, you know, second wind. That would be big to put on everyone, even though it's not on everyone. Yeah, let's keep on putting pressure on them. Don't let them form up. And Oberyn has come back, and I believe Oberyn is still alive. Yeah, he is still alive. He's just pretty battered. I mean, look at that. That's a man who's seen some shit. So let's bring him back. Again, I don't really want to have to charge any of this. Actually turning out to be a really close battle. Yeah, a really, really close battle. Oberyn Martell has been slain on the battlefield. He went in for one last charge into his cavalry unit, but oh, he's actually still alive, even though he's routed. But he's fighting to the end, so you got to respect that from Oberyn. I guess we can stick around. And I think the House Harlaw are going to overrun us, even though we had, I think, a couple more men than them. Well, we only had 80 more men, so it wasn't really too much. This is good, though. This is cool that Oberyn is fighting to the bitter end. For sure. And there you go. He's going to flee off. He's going to escape. At least Oberyn survived, though. That's very cool indeed. But the rest of our army is in a full-out rout, basically. We have a couple positions where we're doing pretty good, like here and here. But I think it's only a matter of time until the rest of the army just crumbles, falls apart, and, yeah, breaks away. There you go. Look at the armies coming in and just finishing off my brave men indeed. Not much left of them whatsoever. I'm surprised that they're managing to stand this long. You know, obviously with the... I'm actually going to dispatch a couple of units off here. I'm surprised that, yeah, we're managing to hold for this long, considering considering, you know, we've obviously lost our general, and some of the other men are breaking. Let's try and, like, pop off a boost here. Let's try and push out here and try and kill some of these missiles. I also want to try and get around the flank, because they obviously have a general unit here as well. If we can kill this general unit, that would be pretty big. It's just a handful of our men are, like, in a really awkward position. They're just so tangled in this combat. But we've managed to push out some men here, and we've managed to engage against the archers. The archers shouldn't be a hard task, and if we can break them, maybe we can then envelop the rest of the positions. We'll have to see. But yeah, it's not looking good, and I think that's going to be it for the battle. More of our men are breaking. We can probably just triple speed through the last of this unless anything crazy does happen. I don't really think there's a way we can come out on top. Even though some men are coming back, so I guess we can bring them down. And there is the enemy general there. But no, we're just going to have the last little stand right here. And that is going to be it for the battle. So, I guess we'll go ahead and call the engagement there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, let me know what you guys thought of these units. And there you go, you can see some of the kills right now as well. With Oberyn getting 152, and the enemy general getting 123 is always nice. So yeah, as I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what faction you liked out of the new ones. And I'll see you guys in the next one.